So we just got our hands on the actual emails, the written communications between Joseph Duggar and his family as he sat in an Arkansas detention facility awaiting to go to Florida to face child sex crimes charges. And they are revealing a lot. We're talking communications from his father, a back and forth with his wife, brother-in-law. I want to talk about what the significance of these communications may be, not only for the story, but for his legal case. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. All right, before we go any further, I gotta tell you about this app that I think you're gonna love. It is called Upside. Why do I say it? Because Upside gets you cash back. Yes, extra cash back on everyday purchases like gas, groceries, takeout. So here's what you do. You download Upside for free. You claim an offer at one of their 100,000 plus locations. You pay like normal with your card. You verify the purchase, and just like that, money back. So say I need to get gas or I want takeout one night. I'm going to search for Upside offers first, and after I spend, money appears in my app that I can then transfer straight into my bank account. And Upside's frequent users, they earn an average of $254 back a year. So to start getting your cash back, click the link in the description or scan the QR code and make sure to use promo code SIDEBAR to get an extra 25 cents bonus on every gallon on your first tank of gas. So there's more coming out about the Joseph Duggar case that we need to talk about. So 31-year-old Duggar facing charges in 2 different states. We've talked about this before. In Florida, the 19 Kids and Counting star, TLC, has been charged with felony counts of lewd and lascivious molestation of a victim less than 12 years old and lewd and lascivious behavior conducted by a person 18 years or older for allegedly sexually abusing a 9-year-old girl during a family vacation back in 2020 out in Florida. At the same time, he and his wife, 27-year-old Kendra, are also facing charges in Arkansas. Apparently, as part of these ongoing investigations, authorities there charged them with misdemeanor counts of 4 counts of endangering the welfare of a minor, 2nd degree, and 4 counts of false imprisonment, 2nd degree. To be clear, we don't know exactly what this is related to, possibly something to do with their kids. They share 4 kids together. This is per reporting, but we can't confirm exactly what it's about. We do know that she bonded out. We do know that she has been released. As for Joseph, we talked about this on a previous Sidebar. He made his first court appearance out in Bay County Court in Florida. Again, we previously covered that hearing. He was hit with a $600,000 bond. He was able to bond out. He was released. Now, one of the things that we have been highlighting are the communications that Joseph has apparently been having when he was locked up at the Washington County Detention Facility in Arkansas before he was extradited to Florida. I mean, we covered his phone conversations with his wife, Kendra.
Hi.
Hey, I know that we just know that we can't talk about a lot here. Did Travis get a hold of you?
Yeah, I've been talking to Travis.
Oh, good, good.
I've got him as my attorney right now.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that. I asked him to be my attorney.
Yeah, I didn't know who exactly we settled with, but that's good.
Well, it's not for you. It's only for me. I mean, he can work with you, but it's just they said I needed somebody for the case that we've got going with the kids and stuff.
But now we have written communications. We have these emails, these messages between Joseph and members of his family, including Kendra. So I want to get into what these can reveal, but to do that, I want to bring on friend of the show, friend of mine, former Palm Beach County State Attorney, Dave Arenberg. Dave, always good to see you. Thanks for taking the time.
Great to be back with you, Jesse.
Before we even get involved, just let everybody know what you're doing right now, because you always have fun things that you're doing. You got your Substack and stuff, so tell everybody where they can find you and the information and what you do.
Yeah, I've got my Substack at Dave Arenberg, and also I have my own law firm, Dave Arenberg Law. So my law partners will be happy for me to plug the firm. But you can also find me on other social media, and I love being on with you. I love having you on. Okay, so first, generally speaking, inmates, detainees, they have a messaging system they can use. What is it, like like a computer? They can send emails or receive messages. How does it work? Yeah, it's government, so it doesn't always work. It can be slow, and in fact, I think there's some frustration from Duggar in one of the messages about the pace of these emails. But yes, it's a system where you can communicate with the outside world.
Okay, so let's go through some of it, and I want to take what the significance might mean. So for example, you have this message that was from March 20th, 2026, 7:57 a.m., where Joseph, again, seems to be from Joseph, he writes, "Hey babe, it's Joe. It is kind of hard to type on their email system from inside here. It takes a long time to type on here. I told Redacted to tell you some things. I'm in lockup 24 hours, but I want you to know that I love you and the kids so much. I'm not sure what things look like for visits, but I miss you so much already. It feels like I have been in here for a week already. Love you. Dave, I want to stop there. We've talked about this before, and there's going to be some more communications about him potentially having been in solitary confinement. Does that arrangement seem strange to you? Why would that be the case for him, that he would be isolated from others?
A couple reasons. They may do it for his own personal safety because he is a high-profile figure. He could be a target behind bars. Plus, he's being charged with lewd and lascivious behavior with a minor. That puts you down on the fishing list. What do you call it? The
totem pole?
Totem pole fishing.
You mean like he could be in danger?
Oh, he can be in danger. You know, when you abuse a child,
or allegedly,
you are allegedly, you are seen as the lowest form of life behind bars. And so you could be attacked for it. Plus the fact that he could have a bounty on his head because he's a Duggar and people know who he is. So yeah, I think they're doing it for his own protection.
I want to get into these communications with Kendra. There are communications with Anna too. So I assume this is Anna Duggar, so his sister-in-law. Remember, married to his brother Josh, who is sitting in prison on a 12-year sentence for receiving child sexual abuse material. So I believe this is Anna. So you look at this message from March 21st, 2026, 11:47 a.m. Hey, Joseph, bro, you've got our prayers. We love you. However we can help, please let us know. I think I put some money on your books. I don't remember how phone calls and video calls work. Please let me know if I can help get things set up so you can call and talk with Kendra. Just remember, don't talk about anything legal unless you are with an attorney. Everything said in these messages, phone calls, and video chats are recorded and turned over to prosecutors. Are they keeping you in solitary, or will they let you go into a pod? Joshua's experience there at Washington County was fairly safe. If there are any concerns for your health or safety, please let me know. On a practical side, I think commissary has a 2-week delay. If you find out timing, that would be helpful. If you'll be there a while, we definitely want to send some goodies your way. Talked with Kendra for about 30 minutes today, was amazed with how clearly she thought, how focused and articulate she was in the middle of such heavy situations. She loves you deeply. She was strong on the phone call, except for when she talked about it being a month before she can see the kids. My heart breaks for all of you. I know she will win in the end. It just might take time. Kendra is an amazing woman. The grace of God is flowing from her life. She is a gem. Know that God is our rock. He is our fortress. He is our shelter. He is our defender. He is our strength. He will get through whatever storms we face. Praying for you. Love you, Anna. Lot to make of that, Dave. First part is it because Kendra was hit with those charges that she can't see her kids for a month? There's something that I had wondered in previous sidebars because I thought I heard in a recording like kids in the background, and I said she wouldn't be able to have contact with her kids if the charges she's facing are potentially related to her children.
Correct. She's being charged with child endangerment. The reports is that they had locks on their kids' doors from the outside.
This is from an unconfirmed source.
Correct.
That spoke to people, right?
But that would be child endangerment because what happens if there's a fire? The kids are locked in. So that could be it. But regardless, when you're charged with child endangerment for your own children, you're not going to be able to go back and have custody over your kids until this is resolved.
I also thought it was interesting because we didn't get these emails first. We got the phone calls first. And in the phone calls between Kendra and Joseph, there seemed to be an acknowledgement we have to be kind of careful about what we're saying. They didn't say it outright, but kind of a little bit. And it wouldn't be surprising because at the beginning of any call, it says this call is being recorded. And you and I both know those calls can be used as evidence by prosecutors in a trial. What did you make of that part when you hear Anna seemingly writing that to him?
Shows they've been through this before. They're not newbies. And as a prosecutor, I was there for 12 years, we love jailhouse calls. Because even though there's a recording that comes on and says, this call is being recorded, for some reason, there's a disconnect between that and their brains because they will just spill their guts. And we would listen to these calls for hours and get a treasure trove of material. Same thing for emails. They're told this is a system that it's public. Everyone can get it, not only prosecutors, but it can be released under Florida's very broad sunshine laws to the public. So they knew about it. and they are not newbies this time around. Maybe the first time around they could give up the ghost. This time they're going to be extra careful.
No expectation of privacy with regarding these communications. They can all come out. This is all potentially relevant. I guess the question becomes, what I thought was interesting also, and we're going to hear this a little bit more when we talk about the family, is that it seems to a certain extent, despite the charges that they're facing, there is a level of family support. Now, what Kendra is charged with is not what he's charged with in Florida, okay?
Right.
There's been no evidence to suggest she knew about or was involved or connected to the Florida case. But I do think it's interesting when you think about what she's charged with, and he is too in Arkansas, and you kind of see, even in their communications, they talk about it just a little bit. Is this the idea that what she may be facing in Arkansas, there's a misunderstanding, or that they're defending her against these charges, or that it doesn't, it's not what he's facing? You can't just immediately come to the defense. It seems almost from that communication from Anna, like Kendra's going to come out on top. She's going to win this. I think it says something about how they view the charges, maybe.
First, it's a lesser charge. These are misdemeanors compared to a serious felony. And also, they seem really to like Kendra. They seem to think she's such a good person and a good mother that she'll beat this, and they lean on their faith. And so they just think that they're going to come out on top of it. I do think that because we don't know enough about the Kendra situation, that you could say maybe they know something we don't. We just don't know enough right now. But when it comes to the husband, I mean, it's hard to defend them. And that he admitted it on a recording. So,
allegedly admitted it on a recording.
Right.
Well, allegedly admitted to a detective.
To a detective.
And the father of the victim, or of the alleged victim.
Right. So it's hard to say he's going to come out on top.
Well, I want everybody to remember, I also have communications this from Jim Bob, okay, that I'm going to get into, from the father to Joseph, wrote him something, and I think it's interesting. Going back, so Joseph appears to write back to Anna, so this is March 21st, 6:23 p.m. Hey, Anna, thanks for the message, got the money, thank you so much. I'm currently in solitary, but they got me a Bible, so I've been able to stay encouraged because I was reading through Psalms today, and boy, this keyboard is hard to type from. Thanks for the encouraging message. It means a lot. I also want to talk about his brother-in-law, Austin Forsyth, married to his sister, Juliana Duggar. What is interesting about that is when Joseph was arrested, Juliana put out a statement. What has come out about my brother is heartbreaking and deeply disturbing. My heart is with the victim, and I am grieved by the pain and harm caused. I have been a wreck this week and am taking time to process. I have a few pre-film commitments that I have to post, but I will be taking some much-needed time with my family. Thank you for your prayers. Now, this is actually consistent with other messages that were put forward by family members where it seems there is an acknowledgement not only of the charges, but I mean, I'll make the argument, it kind of seems like they're believing this. They're believing that he did this. Yes, he's innocent until proven guilty, but that's a pretty strong message. So Austin Forsyth, her husband, appears to write to Joseph, March 25th, 2026, 11:41 p.m. Joe, this is Austin. I want you to know that I love you. Jesus loves you and continues to draw you closer to him. I don't want to discuss your issues over these communications. You need to only be talking to your attorney. Please know that God works despite the sin of man for his good. I am praising God, that we started getting closer to you guys within the last year and a half. We knew that Kendra was going to need help. We will and are helping her. Joseph seemingly writes back, thank you all so much for your support of Kendra. It means the world to have family like you. I'm so grateful for all the people that have jumped right in and have been there to support her. Love you all so much. And by the way, this phone call, just take a listen to this phone call with his wife Kendra at one point in the call, again, it makes the argument. It seems like his family is there for them.
And it's just, they're going to be.
Tell Joy, thank you from me, and I love her so much. She's just been amazing. It sounds like for you through all this. Just I want to be sure that you tell her specifically, and Mama, those two especially. Okay. I don't know who all else is involved. I know that
the entire family. They all have their departments basically that they've been helping with. Wow. I mean, it's like just these ones are working on the kids, these ones are working on me, these ones are working on the attorney, these ones are working on business. These ones, I mean, it's just, I mean, the whole family, I think they just genuinely are like, we love you guys and are here for you. But they told me, they said, we don't want to make any decisions for you. They just said, we're here to support you. And I've been struggling because I was like, I just need to know, what's going on in some regard. But I can't carry the load at all in situations like, she's like, if you ever feel uncomfortable and you don't want something, everyone's like, what is your take on this? So I've just been trying to, because I want to be able to take everything over, and I want advice, but I don't, but I've been, I've been struggling with, how much help.
Oh, it's hard to receive help, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's like,
no, but you
am I sure?
need it. You need it.
I know. Well, I was going to say that I feel like that I can't be, alone for too long either.
Yeah, and I think that's what we were realizing actually right before all this broke out, was that, hey, we actually need to be around people because we've been away from people for so long. We just need that. So it was healthy for us to be around people, and so I think that's good that you're realizing that still.
So Dave, I think this is interesting because on one hand it seems they're acknowledging he may get convicted, that they seem to be siding with, they don't even say alleged victim, right? Talking about the sin of man. Is there two things going on where they, and I don't mean to put words in their mouth, I'm just looking at the communications, they might believe he did this, but at the same time we're saying we love you, you've sinned, you can come out of this, we're there for you. I thought it was so interesting.
It's consistent with the controlled call where he apologizes and pretty much said, this is the sinner inside me. I'm paraphrasing here, but that's consistent with their view of it, that man is mortal and makes mistakes. So they're trying to get him help perhaps, but it looks like that he's not going to go free anytime soon.
I guess the other thing about looking at it here is, I think from a human point of view, it helps if you have family and friends on the outside who are supporting you while you're dealing with this. And now he's been released. But does this give you an idea of, could the family members be witnesses for him in some capacity during the course of this legal case, this criminal case?
In sentencing, because if he pleads guilty, then they can come in and say, Your Honor, he is a good man who just made a mistake. He's owning up to his actions. If he goes to trial and found guilty, they could still do it. They could still say, Your Honor, go easy on him, because it's up to the judge to give out the sentence. And there are sentencing guidelines. But when you have the family who's rallying behind you, that means something.
I want to go back to the communication. So Joseph writes, seemingly writes, March 22nd, 2026, 8 a.m. Hey, Anna, do you mind telling Kendra that on my side of things, I say that my email was sent to her, but I think she still has to accept it. Maybe she could check her spam folder or something. I will also send one to her, another email. Thanks for being the messenger on here. Anna seemingly writes back, sent to Kendra. Are you in general population or in solitary and out for 1 hour a day praying for you? Please let me know how I can help. Joseph seemingly responds, I am in solitary, so just an hour a day for now, getting lots of Bible reading done. That's what helps me stay encouraged through the day. By the way, this is very consistent with his calls with Kendra. They talk a lot about religion. Anna seemingly writes back, you can put in a request to the chaplain to visit you. He can give you more books too. On the phone with Kendra, helping her finish setting things up. Joseph seemingly replies, you can tell her that I found out how to adjust the camera, so we could try that if she gets her side set up. So it seems to be like technical setup about how to have a communication or call. And then Joseph seemingly writes back, going back in now, or Anna seemingly writes back, she loves you so much. And now we get into these communications with Kendra. And by the way, there is a message from his father that I have to get into too, okay, from Jim Bob. But again, March 23rd, 2026, 8:16 a.m., Joseph seemingly writes, test, just found your new contact on my messaging side of things. Hopefully this finds you well. Love you, sweetie. Heart, heart, heart. Love you to the moon and back. Then Kendra seemingly writes back, I got your message. I got your message. I love you. Hang in there. March 24th. Great talking with you today. I believe this is from Joseph. I always love getting to hear your voice. Hope you have a wonderful grade-filled day. And in Psalm 54, that's the one I am praying over each of you and replacing the personal pronouns with your name. That passage has brought me great comfort. All of the Psalms that have meant a lot to me are 8, 18, 54, 86, 91, 119, and 139. Listen to them if you get a chance. Maybe in song form if needed, Love You So Much. Kendra seemingly writes, March 25th, it is good to talk to you, love you. And then at one point, Kendra appeared to send Joseph the lyrics of a Megan Woods song, seemingly writing March 26, 2026, 9:28 p.m. Your favorite song, I hope these words play in your mind over and over, I love you. I'm just going to read you the lyrics right now because I think it's interesting. We'll talk about it. How many times can you hear the same lie before you start to believe it? The enemy keeps whispering to me, I swear these days it's all that I'm hearing. I used to know who I was. Now I look in the mirror and I'm not so sure. Lord, I don't want to listen to the lies anymore. The truth is I am my Father's child. I make him proud and I make him smile. I was made in the image of a perfect king. He looks at me and I wouldn't change a thing. The truth is I am truly loved by a God who's good when I'm not good enough. I don't belong to the lies. I belong to you. And that's the truth. When I feel like there's so much noise living rent-free in my head, heaven finds me in a still small voice and it sounds like grace instead. You remind me who I am when I look in the mirror and I'm not so sure. Lord, I don't want to listen to the lies anymore. The truth is I am my Father's child. Make him proud. I make him smile. I was made in the image of a perfect king. He looks at me, wouldn't change a thing. The truth is I'm truly loved by a God who's good when I'm not good enough. I don't belong to the lies. I belong to you. And that's the truth. I know who I am because I know who you are. But you kind of get the idea. Repeat some of the lyrics. So Dave, let me just first start from the song. Mm-hmm. Anything to take away from that? Because on one hand, you could say, maybe it's just his favorite song. She's trying to encourage him. Or do we look at the lyrics and say, does that tell us something?
What is he talking about when he's talking about all the lies? Is he denying the charges now? Because part of the communication sounds like he's accepting responsibility. He's a frail man, and he's going to find faith as a way to overcome human frailties. On the other hand, that lyric about the lies, I'm tired of hearing all the lies, what is he referring to? Because if it shows that he has lack of remorse, that can be used against him.
And just to give everybody an idea here, you listen to those messages between Kendra and Joseph, seemingly filled with love, and you read these messages on top of the recorded jailhouse phone calls with Kendra. This is just a sample.
Well, I know, and that was the thing, is my brain had to slow down because it was going too quick whenever I first got in here. It took a while for it to calm, and then I was like, well, you know what? I came to the realization, I was like, well, I'm here. I need to just embrace where God has me, and just serve where I am. You know, like Joseph. I read the story of Joseph, how he had to be where he was and embrace the situation and serve God.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I want you to stay encouraged. I don't.
Yeah.
I know, and I feel like I can't be there for as much for you right now.
No, that's fine.
So I know the Lord. Okay, because I have my own battles that I'm dealing with.
Yes.
And so,
you have a lot of things you're doing, sweetie.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I just don't know. I feel like I've had to put you on the, I was trying to sort this out last night in my head. And I was like, I have my, my priorities are the kids.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
that's the only thing that I'm able to focus on. I mean, I'm going to try to take your calls, but I have to do anything and everything for the kids right now.
Absolutely.
And for myself. Because I'm not well. I got 7 hours the night, 6 hours, right? 6 hours the night before. And I got a little food in at the end of the day. I went on an ATV drive with, you-know-who, and it was wonderful, and we just blasted music, worship music, and we didn't sing our hearts out, and then I was able to eat when I got home a little bit of food, the most I've been able to eat probably all week. And I got a little bit of strength back where I was able to walk, not like, because I was on,
you were very
struggling.
you said.
Yeah. And so I can't, so anyways, I'm trying to focus, my goal is everybody, people, my coaches here are saying, make sure you take care of yourself so that you can make good decisions for, the kids. And so I'm doing that. And so I don't know how to be there for you entirely in all this. And so
no, that's totally fine, honey. need you. So
Okay, I know.
But I do appreciate you taking my calls, because that's very encouraging to me just to hear your voice, and
Okay.
I want you to know I think about your sweet laugh all the time. Now, are the kids doing well?
From what I hear, they are doing good.
That's good. Well.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah. No.
what you know, but
I've not talked to Travis yet, but I will.
Dave, the reason I do this is because you and I talked about whether or not Kendra would be on the same page with Joseph. There was a communication about them even retaining separate counsel. You and I talked about, could she be a witness against him in some capacity? They seem to be aligned to a certain extent.
There is a spousal privilege, and so she would very unlikely be a witness against him. But it does say something that she seems to be on his team. Like, she believes in him, trusts him, and she would testify, if there was a way to do it, that she would trust him in front of their kids. On the other hand, she's being charged herself for child endangerment. So I think the only way that she would play a part in his trial is in the penalty phase. After he's found guilty or pleads guilty, she can come say, Your Honor, I know this man as well as anyone. He is a good father. This was a mistake. Let him overcome it and don't end his life for it.
I don't know what her role was in that alleged vacation in 2020 that makes up the Florida charges, whether she was there or not or knew about the trip. Can she be called by the prosecution in any capacity?
She has spousal privilege.
Maybe, but in terms of, so let me be clear, she can't testify what their communications were, but can she say, yeah, there was a trip in 2020, I observed this, Joseph went there, like, can she be called to testify in that way?
Correct, but my understanding that she's not a witness to what happened, so they could get what she would provide from other witnesses, perhaps. So I'm not sure she's going to be called.
I got to talk about the patriarch and matriarch of this whole clan. So Joseph's mom and dad, Jim Bob, Michelle Duggar. A spokesperson for the Duggar family told People magazine at one point, Jim Bob and Michelle are heartbroken over this entire situation. Right now they are focused on loving their family and helping Kendra and her children during this difficult time. They are praying for the victim, again, not alleged victim, the victim. They ask for privacy and appreciate the kind words and prayers offered by so many. James Duggar, okay, Jim Bob, March 25th, 2026, okay, seemingly writes Joseph this. Joseph, I'm so sorry for what you're going through. Mom and I love you very much. Looks like you have a long road ahead of you, but God will get you through. You've made some terrible decisions, but God has already forgiven you if you have asked him. Kendra is doing well overall. She is trusting in the Lord. She loves you very much. Your kids are going to be okay. Our whole family is pulled together to help. Several of the sisters and sister-in-laws have taken Kendra out and spent a lot of time with her. It is ridiculous that they charged Kendra and arrested her. We've hired to help Kendra. We were praying that we can get her charges dropped. You'll be so proud of your brothers and grateful to them for how they're all stepped up and are helping with all the details of your business and helping Kendra. You're just going to have to accept the situation at this point. And it's also fine to pray that God would have mercy on you, but you're probably going to face some major consequences for several years to come. I pray that God will bring other Christians into your life to encourage you, and that you can also point people to Christ. Even though the time you're in jail and prison, God will be with you. He will get you and your family through. David in the Bible royally messed up, but he repented and became a man after God's own heart. You also, like Joseph, who is in prison, can make lemonade out of lemons. I love you, and we'll keep praying for you. Don't give up. God is not finished with your life. Love you, Dad. Trust in the Lord, lean not to your own understanding. That is very revealing, to say the least. So 2 parts about that, your reaction to that statement, and B, can that be used by prosecutors against Joseph?
Not unless, on the second point, not unless he had actual information. If he's just saying you did something wrong because he believes the charges, that doesn't make him a material witness. Although, I would love to know why he's believing these allegations. What does he know? What's happened in the past? Are there other victims in the past? So this does, to me, raise more questions than answers.
I will tell you, people reported this, that Jim Bob was with Joseph at his first court appearance in Florida. So that's interesting to say. It seems like, look, a father's love's a father's love, but at the same time, it's like another message where they're not saying, let the legal system play out. He's completely innocent of this. He'll have his day in court. No comment at this time. There is a siding with the alleged victim in this case, and there seems to be a belief that he's maybe guilty. I mean, I'm not putting words in my mouth. I'm just trying to read this and understand it.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Maybe it's his experience with his other son, Josh, that has brought him to this day, where he now just assumes that if there's a charge against you, you're guilty.
I don't know. Interesting development. We'll see where it goes. Dave Arenberg, as always, pleasure seeing you. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you, Jesse.
And that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you should get your podcasts. You can also check us out on NBC's Peacock as well. If you want to follow me, X, Instagram, my News Nation show, Jesse Weber Live, Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you next time, everybody.